orthodoxy. Welcome to the money system, where we explain how money really works.
Ever feel like no matter how much you pay in taxes, the gap between the rich and the poor just keeps getting wider? You're not alone. We're often told that taxing the rich more is the simple solution to wealth inequality. But what if the real story is far more complex? Today, we're going to look at the Netherlands, a country with some of the highest taxes in the world, to see what's really going on. You might be surprised by what we find. Let's start with a common assumption. High taxes automatically lead to a more equal society. It sounds logical, right? Take from the rich, give to the poor, and everyone ends up better off. The Netherlands seems like the perfect test case. It's known for its extensive social welfare system, universal healthcare, and, you guessed it, high taxes. The top income tax rate can go over 49%, and there are significant taxes on wealth and inheritance. So, with all this redistribution, the Netherlands should be a paradise of economic equality. But is it? Well, here's where things get interesting. When you look at income inequality, the Netherlands does pretty well. After taxes and social transfers, the gap between the highest and lowest earners is relatively small compared to many other developed countries. This is thanks to their robust social safety net, which provides unemployment benefits, housing assistance, and more. So, on the surface, the system seems to be working. People have access to essential services, and poverty rates are low. But income is only one part of the picture. The other, much larger part, is wealth. Wealth isn't just about your monthly paycheck. It's the total value of everything you own: your house, your stocks, your savings, your business. It's what gets passed down through generations and what truly creates financial security. And when we shift our focus from income to wealth in the Netherlands, a completely different picture emerges. Despite the high taxes, wealth inequality in the Netherlands is surprisingly high. In fact, it's one of the highest among developed nations. The top 10% of Dutch households own over 60% of the total wealth, while the bottom 60% own just 1%. How can this be? How can a country be so equal in income but so unequal in wealth? The answer lies in a few key factors that the tax system doesn't quite reach, and in some cases might even make worse. First, let's talk about housing. For decades, the Dutch government heavily subsidized home ownership through a very generous mortgage interest deduction. This allowed people to deduct all of their mortgage interest payments from their taxable income. This policy made buying a house incredibly attractive and fueled a massive rise in property values. Who benefited the most from this? People who could afford to buy homes in the first place, especially more expensive ones. As property prices soared, homeowners saw their wealth skyrocket, while renters were left behind. This single policy created a huge wealth divide between owners and non-owners. Then there's the world of business and investments. While wages are taxed heavily, wealth tied up in businesses or certain types of investments often faces a much lower tax burden. Entrepreneurs and investors have many legal ways to structure their assets to minimize taxes. For example, profits retained within a company are often taxed at a lower rate than personal income. This encourages the wealthy to keep their money invested in their businesses, where it can grow largely untouched by the high income tax rates. Over time, this allows their wealth to compound and grow far faster than the savings of an average salaried employee. So, while a doctor or a lawyer pays a high tax rate on their salary, a business owner might be growing their net worth exponentially while paying a comparatively lower rate on that growth. Another piece of the puzzle is pensions. The Netherlands has one of the world's largest and most well-funded pension systems. This is generally a good thing, as it ensures people have an income in retirement. However, these massive pension funds are a huge pool of capital. While this wealth is technically owned by the future retirees, it's controlled by a small number of fund managers. Furthermore, the way this pension wealth is measured often masks the true extent of inequality. If we exclude this collective pension wealth and only look at personal, marketable assets, the inequality figures become even more stark. The wealthy own stocks, bonds, and real estate directly, while for many average citizens, their biggest asset is their future pension claim, which they can't access or borrow against. So what we see is a system that's very effective at redistributing income through taxes and benefits, creating a society where day-to-day living standards are relatively equal. However, it simultaneously has policies that encourage the accumulation of wealth in specific areas, like housing and business assets, which are disproportionately owned by the rich. The tax system, despite its high rates, struggles to touch this accumulated wealth. It's like trying to level a mountain with a shovel. You can move a lot of dirt around the base, but the peak remains just as high. This isn't to say that taxes have no role to play. Progressive income taxes and social safety nets are crucial for reducing poverty and ensuring a basic standard of living. But the Dutch experience serves as a powerful reminder that income taxes alone are a blunt instrument for tackling deep-seated wealth inequality. If a country with one of the most aggressive tax systems in the world still has massive wealth gaps, then maybe we need to think beyond just raising income tax rates. What could be the alternatives? Some economists point towards reforming how we tax assets. This could mean changing the mortgage interest deduction to stop inflating housing prices. It could mean higher taxes on capital gains, inheritances, or land value. Others argue that the focus should be less on redistribution and more on predistribution. This means tackling the root causes of inequality before it even occurs. This could involve strengthening unions to increase workers' bargaining power, investing in education to give everyone a fair start, and promoting broader ownership of capital through things like employee stock ownership plans. The goal is to ensure that the economy generates more equal outcomes from the start, rather than trying to fix the inequality with taxes after the fact. The Dutch case study doesn't give us an easy answer. It shows that there are no simple solutions to a problem as complex as wealth inequality. What it does tell us is that focusing solely on income taxes might make us miss the bigger picture. We need a more sophisticated conversation that goes beyond catchy slogans. It's a debate about how we tax housing, how we treat corporate profits, and how we empower everyday people to build wealth for themselves. This is the real challenge we face if we're serious about creating a truly fair and prosperous society for everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video insightful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the economic issues that shape our world. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think is the best way to tackle wealth inequality? Let's start a conversation. See you in the next video.
So, we're not smart. If this helped you understand the system, subscribe, like, and share this video.